Welcome everyone to another video. Happy Friday. Today we're going to take a look at our favorite coins. We're going to analyze them, see what could be prices that we could see in the near future, especially for end of February, maybe March. And also we're going to go through some data here. So let's jump right into it in today's video. Welcome everyone. So going already deep into it, we're going to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin right here, we're going to use the weekly and the daily to analyze a little bit. If we look at the weekly, we see that we started a consolidation here in December when we hit the $104,000. That was the first major all-time high above $100,000. And since then, we have been sideways. If we go to the daily here, we can see it very, very clearly. So it is not downtrend. We have been stuck right here into this box here. So not much we can do about that. Honestly, this sucks. We have seen up and downs here, but this is a very huge range box. It goes from around 105,000 all the way to $93,000. So very, very big. If we look at the weeklies, last time we had a consolidation like this was for around 200 days. So if you get somewhere right here, all the way to somewhere here, it was 200 days of consolidation. Will this happen again? I don't think so. The conditions are not similar to these right now. This was halving year. This one is post halving. If we go to last cycle, we are going to see something similar. So sideways right here, consolidation, which was around 400 days. So a little bit over 1 year. So 2020 halving year, we went sideways the whole thing. And then around October, November, just like this time, we had a huge spike. And then after the spike, it was somewhat of a range, but a very huge range right here. So around the $31,000 range right here. So not much of a consolidation. The consolidation itself was just a matter of a few days, 77 days to be exact. But this was after the huge spike. And then we had a period where we went up and down, which brought us to this cycle. So here, what I would expect is another leg up towards the 120. And then we most likely are going to see Bitcoin kind of stall on this range because we will be having altcoin season all over again. So if we go to Ethereum now, Ethereum on the weekly, see that it went to touch the bottom of the Bollinger all the way to the $2,100. On the daily, we see that it actually right now looks a little bit promising. We're bottomed out on the Bollinger, and it looks like this could flip around now because it is on a very good place of support, which is around the 2,700. You see right here, it was the top of the range for last year. So maybe right now we're going to keep our price above that. If we do, that will be very, very bullish. And at least we're going to be touching this middle range right here, which should be around somewhere the $3,000 mark for Ethereum. Looking at Solana, we see on the daily that we're also almost bottomed out on the RSI, still not in the oversold range, but bottoming out on the Bollinger right here, which has a very strong support tested on this huge candle that we had right here, which is around the 177. And now we have another somewhat strong support right here around the $197 to $198,000. If we break again above this and the RSI flips like we saw here, we most likely are going to be looking at another rally towards maybe the top of the Bollinger. If we lose momentum, at least to the middle right here. Of course, I use more than these indicators, but I'm trying to keep it very easy for you to understand. If you want to go more into depth, you should also look at Fibonacci retracement levels. Those are not my favorite, but they work very, very well. Volume profile is very, very strong because it allows you to see in what range, in what price range we have the strongest orders or the more movement here. You could use it like a heat map for liquidation, like we see, but it says what are the prices that are more targetable for the user. So using a lot of these indicators will give you a better parameter. But if you're just starting, just learn the basics, support resistances, and then add in a little Bollinger or RSI. These are the ones that I usually recommend for people who are starting new. And then you go to volume profile indicators, maybe delta indicators as well. Those will allow you to see the market clearer instead of being manipulated as a retailer. So again, we most likely we're going to look back into the 210, 215 for Solana if we break right here above this little resistance that we have. So breaking out of this $200 right here and holding above the $200 on the daily is very bullish for us. On the weekly, we can see that we touched the middle of the Bollinger right here, which shows us a very strong place of interest right here. So if you hold this right here, it is very, very probable that we are going to look at the top of the Bollinger as we did before. So you can see that it started right here, it tested again, tested another time. It went all the way up to the Bollinger. And if it breaks this, we're going to be looking at 271, maybe even $300 for Solana here. This is the weekly charts that we can see. Now, for XRP on the daily, we bottomed out. We bottomed out everywhere. We were very overextended here on the RSI a few weeks back in November when we had the huge spike in price. Then we went again on overbought. This was back in mid-January, and we finally bottomed out. We lost all of the overbought that we had, all the huge upwards momentum that we had, but now it seems that we're getting strong again. We seem to have a bullish signal here coming on the daily. If we look at the weekly, we tested the middle range right here. You can see it clearly tested the middle range. So most likely now we should see it holding this line right here on the daily. We can see it a little bit better. If we go to the 4 hours, we see that we actually bottomed out right here on that huge candle day that we had Monday. This was the tariffs crash that we had. So we most likely bottomed out already. We just don't have enough volume so far to go up again, but I would like to see 2.6 once again for XRP. So for the copy trading, we are doing fantastic, 1% already here on the topics. The copy trading is pretty much a USDC strategy. So you're gonna utilize options to generate passive income for your USDC. So that USDC is gonna be getting you yield, real yield that is gonna be made out of trading options for you. You don't have to do anything. It is very passive, and we have a success fee of 30%. So you might ask me, well, the number that I see right here, the P&L or the total P&L, is this net or liquid? Well, what you see right here is already yours. This is the money that you bring home. So this is the liquid amount that you see right here is what you get. So even still, you look at this, you look, we have 1 million right here, and the maximum drawdown, meaning how much you can lose on a losing trade. The maximum so far was 2%, 2.4%. You cannot find this on any trading bots or anything that you can find on Web3. This is one of the best pretty much stablecoin yield farms for crypto. 100%. This of course is a projection number, so you can see that so far we've made 73% since May 2024. So we're getting close to 1 year, and we most likely are going to hit this 104 right here. We see September 10%, then almost 10% on October, 670 on November, 4.5 on December, 5.15 in January, and now we most likely are going to still keep this range right here for February, which has less days, so a little less days to trade and make a better P&L. But very strong so far. Also, the Phoenix strategy, which is very low risk right here, is also performing very well for 22% on your USDC or USDT. So remember, these are numbers on USDC. So you don't need to have the volatility of Bitcoin, of Ethereum. No, this is all stablecoin. We generate that income with options on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana. But what you see and what you get is all USDC, is all cash. So very good if you're trying to have a yield farming for your stablecoin. If you wanted to deposit your stablecoin and just let it grow, this is the place for you. So looking at the fear and greed index here, we are looking at 35 on the fear scale. So a lot of fear has been shown because Bitcoin has been going down a little bit. Of course, we have data for jobs, so that also could affect more the fear and greed index. There's a lot of retailers losing a lot of money, and we can see that from the liquidation heat map. $236 million lost in the last 24 hours. This is only for liquidations. We're not talking about the depreciation of total market cap of crypto, but you can see that 70% of this money was lost on long positions. So longs were betting everything was going to go up, and it did not end up going up as they wanted to. So we can see right here that we have still, after that huge liquidations, we still have more bullishness than bearishness for Bitcoin. You can see there's a lot of neutral here, but we have 16% very bullish, 37% bullish. We have 10% very bearish and 19% bearish as of right now. So a lot of green sentiment right here, which is good and understandable. And we have a long to short ratio of 1.07, meaning that we have right now 51% long to 48% short ratio. So these numbers are just for Bitcoin, not for Ethereum. If we look at the Bitcoin liquidations, we are even. As I said before, usually when you have a huge day that skews this equilibrium right here, so this pendle right here goes towards one side, the long or the short side, then it tends to rebalance. It tends to go back in. So right now we are seeing something very stable, very balanced on Bitcoin. On Ethereum, I believe it is also very similar, shouldn't be very off. It's actually pending more towards the long side of things. So we have more longs than we have shorts. Most likely we're going to see some shorts being taken out right now, especially because, as I showed before, Ethereum is almost bottoming out. If it holds on that 2700, then we are going to be good to go, because that will become a very strong support for Ethereum in the near future. So on the liquidation heat map, we have right here Bitcoin looking at the 99,000 here. There's a lot of heat on this range of the 98,700, 98,500. So if it starts to get these positions right here, these shorts liquidated, we're going to see the top right here, the $99,000 for sure, because it just takes a little bit of volume to start trickling up all of these liquidations, and it's going to get one after the other, and we most likely are going to see a spike back to 99 and then a little bit of a correction, just like we saw right here. So this is my speculation for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum very strong on the top side. It's good for you if you're selling puts. So here we have a very strong magnet on the top. This is most likely where we're going to be looking in the next 24 hours. Let's take a look at Solana before we go. Solana has a little bit of a stronger bottom. We have some heat here in the 185, but again, we have been going up since then. This, as I said before, we held a very strong bottom right here. We were oversold, as you remember from the charts, we were oversold. And since we held that bottom, which was around 177, now we have been going up. Most likely the 200 will be coming again. And if in the daily, again, if we hold the 200 mark in the daily, that will be very bullish for Solana. So we have jobs to look out for here. We have the next Fed meeting, which will be March 19. So in the meantime, jobs is the only thing that we have to keep an eye on for now that could swing the pendulum towards bullish or bearish, depending on what numbers come out. But overall, I think we are going to be doing good in this following week, because this one we seem to have bottomed out everywhere. So if you look on the weekly charts, if you look on the 3-day charts, we seem to have found a bottom right here. So most likely now we should be looking up again. Again, this is my speculation, my analysis. If you want to leave in the comments below, what do you think? What are your analysis for your top coins, for your favorite coins? Comment down below. Here is an open chat. Feel free to reach out and drop your knowledge down below. So thank you very much, and I'll catch you guys on Monday. So I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Take care. Peace.